Crank 2020, how we feeling tonight? Yeah. Listen, I don't know about y'all, but usually around this time, I'd be on the beach with my family, swimming in the ocean, waking up to the sun. And even though we can't do that right now, I feel it in my soul, and I just want to share that with you. So repeat after me, okay? Say, I just want to wake up to the sun and say, Lord, I just want to wake up to the sun and say, Lord. I just want to wake up to the sun and say, Lord. I just want to wake up to the sun. Come on, come on. I just want to wake up to the sun and say, Lord. I just want to wake up to the sun and say, Lord. I just want to wake up to the sun and say, Lord. I just want to wake up to the sun and say, Lord. Let's go.
Greetings. My name is Lee Levinson-Perrine, and I'm the founder of Makers Lab. On behalf of the Makers Lab family and the Black in Space Star crew, we'd like to welcome you to Respect Her Crank, a go-go history showcase.
Hey y'all, I am Patience the pilot, and I am the director of programs for Makers Lab, and we are so excited to be here with you all today to talk about my city, your city, our city, DC, and the women that drive it. We are also super excited to have had the privilege to interview these amazing scholars who have been doing this work of creating spaces. Super excited to see your work, and thank you so much for honoring this creative space that is the historical work of DC's official music.
So with that, we hope you buckle up, enjoy the ride, and enjoy the time as we take Go-Go to space.
Greetings, space travelers. This is your captain, Samantha G. speaking. Today, we are taking a much more earthly voyage than our last trip and exploring the history of a sound so near to my heart. I know that I've spent years in this spacecraft, traveling throughout the stratosphere, but I promise, I'm no alien. Before I set my sights on outer space, I was an Earth girl from around the way. I was born in DC to human parents in a human hospital that I hear now is a human Whole Foods grocery store or something. Nevertheless, go-go music has been the soundtrack to and the hallmark for my coming of age. The women who reminded me of my own reflection every time that they hit the stage. So buckle up, beloved. We're headed to DC.
Hey y'all, welcome to Makers Lab and Black in Space's Cosmic Couch. We are not on a couch, but we are in a room and outside. And we are super excited to be talking to Smithsonian's Hirshhorn's Artlab Plus cohort, 3D cohort for the project Respect Her Crank, talking to women in go-go and creating from a space supporting and uplifting and praising women in go-go. I am here with 3 of the amazing scholars from the cohort, specifically the 3D creation spaces. And I am going to ask each of the cohort to introduce themselves. Darius, if you don't mind, since you are already unmuted, to go ahead and start us off, that would be awesome.
Hi, my name's Darius. I've been working with Artlab for years now. I believe it's been about 5 years, doing other things other than this amazing experience with Respect to Crank. This is really how I've gotten into creating art and doing everything from digital art using programs like Adobe Illustrator and Adobe After Effects to creating more like now I'm into 3D spaces. I also paint. I make masks. I do animation. I do I do it all. The only thing I'm not really into is music. But I've been doing art for about as long as I've been with Artlab, and I just gotta say I love the environment.
That is awesome. I was muted, but that is awesome. So glad to have you. Raneem, do you want to go next?
So my name is Raneem. I've never had experience with Artlab before this, or with 3D design at all. So this is my first time doing it. Originally, I'm like a multimedia artist. I work with like like different types of paper, like pastels and paints. So I just like work with everything together. And I'm also a computer science major. So I went into this thinking that it would be a really good opportunity to learn how 3D design works, because I think it ties in a lot with the major. And especially since I want to incorporate my art background with it, I think it's really cool. And I'm hoping that it will help me in the future.
Awesome. Grace?
Hi, I'm Grace. This is my first time working with Artlab, and I did not come from an art background unlike Darius and Raneem, so it's been absolutely amazing to learn from everyone at Artlab and learn from especially Darius and Raneem, because they're totally brilliant, wonderful, wonderful people to work with. I came in from a little bit more of a research background. I'm super passionate about GoGo, which is why I found this project and got involved with Artlab, and the experience has been wonderful. And just like Darius said, the environment which we're creating is incredible.
Amazing. And you all are from the DC, Maryland area, right? All of you are from around here? Lovely. That's super wonderful, especially when talking about GoGo. I'm from the older generation of GoGo. I hate to say it now. My birthday is next week and I turned 31, but I'm from the older generation of GoGo heads. So it's lovely to see how you all are creating this new space and bringing GoGo with you all. So what was your experience like with Respect Her Crank in creating these 3D spaces? What tools did you all use? What was the experience like?
Most definitely. So we used Mozilla Spoke and Mozilla Hubs to create these spaces. It was really disorienting at first when we viewed these spaces. We were trying to learn how to pick up a new tool, trying to like walk around in these virtual spaces, communicating with each other. Like we're right next to each other in these virtual spaces, but we're like spread out throughout like in real life. So that was a pretty interesting experience. But to be able to build these spaces in VR was a new, a very new experience. And but we picked it up really quickly as we progressed and have been able to really become proficient in building these virtual spaces.
Yeah, I got to experience Raneem's space with her, but I took a sneak peek at everybody's space today, and they are so phenomenal and so like indicative of DC. And I'm so proud to be from DC and also a part of this project because the spaces that you all created felt so good, especially in a time of like not being able to experience one another. Creating those spaces feels phenomenal, and we really, really appreciate that. So I asked before if all of you all are from the area. Can you all tell me what your experience with GoGo was? And I would love to hear from each of you about what your experience with GoGo was before Respect Her Crank.
So I can go, I guess. Before Respect Her Crank, I think I might have heard about GoGo, but I didn't know what it was at all, actually. And I think like learning about it made me feel more connected to DC. Yeah, I think it was really cool to learn about that part of music.
And just a sidebar, since you weren't really familiar with GoGo, like what was the thing that you learned that was the most surprising or important thing that you learned about GoGo in that experience?
I think it was really interesting to hear about the role of women in GoGo, and how like they've had like a prominent role in it for a long time, and like the prominent figures that were really popular. I think it was really cool to hear about them. Yeah. Definitely.
Awesome. And Grace, you said that you are very passionate about GoGo. I love that. You're really passionate about GoGo. What was your experience before Respect Her Crank with GoGo?
So I grew up in and out of DC, in the DC area, and GoGo is definitely something I I wouldn't say I grew up with it in the sense that I wasn't going to go-go's a lot when I was growing up, but my mom loves go-go, and it was something that it's just part of DC, and I love DC. And I think that once you hear go-go, you have to love it. You can't not love go-go. And it's something that I find really interesting in the way that it intersects with DC's political history and social history. And so as someone who's interested from a research perspective, go-go is the perfect way to kind of explore what DC really means to the people who really live here. And so I think go-go is fabulous in that sense. So I'd been doing some research before, and I'm hoping to write my thesis this year and next year on go-go and DC.
Yes, more research work around go-go. I love it. That feels so good. And so I'll ask you the same thing. I'll kick to you the same question. What was the most interesting or like meaty fact that you felt you learned from Respecter Crank, or was there a meaty tidbit that you took from your actual work around go-go in this space?
I think what I really valued about this experience was getting to work with and learn from so many creative people, because you can do all the research, read all the books. Something about really talking to the people who are involved in creating this music, who this music means so much to them, it's just something I never could have from any other experience. And then also I spent my time working really closely with the music cohort. And so just to be around those amazingly talented girls and watch their process and learn from them about how they interacted with go-go and how they used go-go in their music and their own personal style was really, really amazing, because I'm not an artist. I don't know that much about, I love music, but I don't know that much about how music is made. And so taking that side of it was super interesting and fascinating for me.
That's awesome. And so Darius, I know you worked with the film cohort, and so what was your experience like with go-go before the project? And kind of same question, what did you take from, Respecter Crank, and what is your experience now to it?
What's that? So before Respecter Crank, my experience with go-go has been through my parents talking about it, talking about just having the love for it, and then also being in like barbershops. I'd hear so many stories about just the experience of actually going to a go-go. Like it would be on in the barbershops, but they talk about it's not the same. You have to be in that place, in that environment. There's something magical about it, and just hearing all the love for go-go that has really been my experience has got me interested in researching it more and so this was a perfect opportunity for me. But yeah, once I've started with Respecter Crank, I learned so much about go-go, the prominent figures, the women's roles in go-go, and working with the film cohort, it's exactly the same way Grace was talking about, being able to see these prominent people working with making these beautiful pieces of work. And my goal was really to create a space. All of our goals was to create a space that hosts their work in the best way possible. And I really feel honored to be able to do that for them, putting their spaces in the perfect environment. You're not constricted to, okay, it has to be in a black room so that you can see it. Like, but reality is not a limit for us, and that's what's really great about being able to build these virtual spaces for these amazing artists.
Yeah, they are super phenomenal. Again, like in a time where we don't get to be close to one another and spend time with one another, and go-go being such a physical culture of like, it's really like mosh pit culture, right? Like every time people are at a go-go together or they're in spaces together, we are physically close. And there's something about each of your spaces that really touches on that. And so I didn't tell you I was going to ask this before because it just popped in my mind. But Raneem, I would love to start with you. Your space is the airbrushed Metro Gallery, right? And so can you tell us a little bit more specifically about the space that you've created? Because we're going to show a few of the pieces of your work, which the completed work is amazing. And just can you tell us a little bit about the space?
Yeah, sure. So I wanted to create something that was kind of like in DC so that people would feel like they were leaving their house, so that they would feel like they're in a place that they recognize, and that they could attach with GoGo. And I picked 7th and Florida, like the cross section of 7th and Florida Avenue, because I know that's like a prominent place with regard to GoGo history and Don't Mute DC. So that was a big part of the space, and I didn't want to make like a traditional gallery. I wanted it to be like interactive, and I wanted to take advantage of it being virtual because there's a lot of things you can't do in person. So like you can't have like an abstract like paint airbrushed sky like in reality. So I tried to like make it like super abstract and fun, just like a place that people can chill and feel like they can enjoy themselves while listening to GoGo.
Absolutely. And that airbrush space really takes you back to your airbrush t-shirts and standing in front of the pictures posing like this. It's great. It's an amazing space. So thank you, Raneem. Grace, your space, the pocket. Whenever I hear the pocket, that's all I want to do. Just this right here. When you see that elbow go up, you know that somebody is in the pocket. Can you explain a little bit to us about your space?
Yeah, so my space, the pocket, I really wanted to work with reality, even though we're in virtual reality. As a researcher, I'm always just someone who is obsessed with like the little tiny little things, and working with all these creative people really helped me kind of broaden my thinking and the way that I was creating, and move from like an academic perspective to a more like abstract artistic perspective. And that was kind of what my space is about. So it's this like dreamscape kind of space, but every little aspect of it is like a nod to some part of DC history or go-go, right down to like the sounds, like the street sounds are from UN 4th Street. Like I tried to take every little thing that I could from DC go-go, because I feel like what's better than the real thing. But and then at the same time, I was able to play with it in this virtual space, which is just like Darius said, it's like totally liberating and limitless kind of potential. So it's set up with a vault and a maze before the concert space, because I wanted to really realize how valuable go-go is and how incredible this work is. But also at the same time, it's a little bit hidden, maybe from what how other people would view DC, or someone who's never been to the city, doesn't know much about it, maybe might not know go-go. So it's kind of playing with this hidden, but also everyone in DC knows it, and this value, maybe people outside DC don't see that value, but we all know, of course, the most.
Absolutely. I was definitely gonna ask you about the vault and the long walkway to get to it. It's beautiful. So and it's very reminiscent of the city and how much we miss the city. So thank you, Grace. Darius, can you tell us about you have 3 different spaces. I'm just gonna tell you now, my favorite is the carryout. You have 3 different spaces. Can you talk to us a little bit about the spaces you created with the film cohort? Yeah.
Most definitely. Most definitely. At first, I did not know where to start with these spaces. So the first thing we did was interview each member of the film cohort and try and make them their own space, what they think would best fit their films. We thought that would be like the best way to really just display the films. And they came up with some great ideas. You had the carryout, which turned out amazing. We had the water, which was just the beach scene, which they were all
All of them.
phenomenal. We had Raya's room, and then we ended up using a Raneem space for. We wanted the last person, Z, wanted a go-go scene, and so the Raneem's room worked perfectly for that. So yeah, let's start with the carryout. That was it turned out amazing. We have a night carryout scene where you can it has all the elements. You got a little table. Creating it, I just did some googling because I couldn't really visit carryouts right now. It wouldn't be a wise idea.
Absolutely.
We found some great, actually 360 scans of these carryout rooms. So it's like you're really in the spaces via Google Street View and Google 360. I was able to really capture all of the elements that made the carryout like what it was, from the tile walls to the vending machine in the corner, a brown bag with sitting on a table, or the long line of menus sitting in front of the counter or behind the counter. We really just tried to capture, for that space, we really tried to capture the essence of a carryout, just because that's so essential to DC culture. Is just another part of the lore of DC. Now for the water room, Orelua, they wanted a beautiful space that really encompassed the movement of water, and it really flows well with their video, with their film. It is going to look amazing. I just got to tell you that. We've got so many spaces. We got so many pictures of other artists that they wanted included around the space, and then also flyers scattered throughout, just to give it that same sense of it's like going to a drive-through in a sense, where you have a giant screen viewing, but you're also in a communal area where there's a whole lot of people around just viewing this one scene. Now for Shania's room, she wanted a home like space, and so we put her film in an apartment. That worked very well. That worked very well. You see a larger display on the wall, and then a smaller display just on a TV. It's a very cozy space. You can see outside. You're actually sitting in a row home outside of a street in DC, or you can see row homes on the other side. And then I already explained Z space. It's Raneem's amazing space.
Yeah, all of you all did an amazing job. As a self-proclaimed fat girl, the carryout space is my favorite because it makes me think of chicken wings, fry hard, 4 pieces, French fries, mumbo sauce, salt, pepper, ketchup. That is exactly what it makes me think of. And all of the spaces just are amazing and reminiscent of DC. And it's lovely to see you all really bring, like I said, I'm old. So it's lovely to see y'all bring, go into a different space, because like Grace was saying, it's not underground, but it is a hidden treasure here in the city.
What's going on? It's your girl Queen P, the first lady of Beat Your Feet. If y'all don't know what that is, it's a style associated with go-go. And right now you have the opportunity to learn from who else but the queen of the style of Beat Your Feet. We celebrating women in go-go, respect their crank, it's a big deal. You're gonna learn some basic movements of Beat Your Feet. Stuff like the bounce, 3-point step kick, the infamous this and that, all that. Y'all gonna learn it right here. Let go. All right, so the first move that we're gonna learn today is the bounce, okay? The bounce is the foundation for Beat Your Feet. If there's no bounce, then there's no Beat Your Feet. Remember, no bounce, no Beat Your Feet. So it's very simple. What you wanna do is get your feet parallel to your body, as so, and you just wanna bounce, 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 bounce. And with the bounce, you can go from side to side, not too much forward, backward, but more side to side, side to side, bounce it side to side, side to side, okay? So that's the foundation. You gotta know how to bounce. Now, to get funky with the bounce, we add what we call 30-30. And 30-30 are the arm movements, okay? It looks like you're flapping like a chicken, okay? You got 30-30 arms. Then when you use the 30-30 arms with the bounce, it looks as so. Bounce, 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 yeah? So, it's very simple. That's the bounce mixed with the 30-30. 30-30 are our arms. With the 30-30, you can use them on one side or the other, which are single 30s, okay? So that looks like so with the bounce. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, yeah? Okay, very simple. You got the bounce and you got the 30-30 arms, okay? Now I prefer the fact that you can be free in your bounce, so you don't always have to use the very systematic arm placement, more so than just making sure you got a good bounce, right? So that's what I call like a crazy bounce. Crazy bounce, ba, 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 whatever you want to do. So you got the bounce. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, yeah? Okay, so once you do the bounce, then you're gonna do your 30-30s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? Next, we're gonna do a move called the 3-point step kick. 3-point step kick is very, very simple. Whatever you do to one side, you do to the other. So it goes as so with no arms. That's right, back, right, kick, left, back, left, kick, yeah? Okay, so we'll do it again. We have right, back, right, kick, left, back, left, kick. And make sure when you do your changes, when you're stepping over, you give me a small plie here, and then you kick, okay? The thing about dance is you never can lose sight of foundation. And so as you see, we have a plie, which is the derivative of ballet, involved with the Beat Your Feet. So always remember that with dance, there's always some other foundational tools that are used in these different creative styles. So if you add the arm movements to the 3-point step kick, they're still 30-30, but they're low. They're here. So it will look as so. Step, down, step, kick, step, back, step, kick, okay? So you're moving these arms. So what it looks like in real time is 1, 2, 3, kick, 1, 2, 3, kick, yeah? Do it one more time. Again, we have 1, 2, 3, kick, 1, 2, 3, kick, yeah? So let's take our bounce, our upper 30-30, and our 3-point step kick and blend it all together. See what it looks like. That's 5, 6, 7, 8. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah? So we have learned the bounce, we got our 30-30 arms, and we have the 3-point step kick. Now, got a 3-point step kick, the right foot is gonna be up. We wanna transition into what I call the twerk. And no, don't have to worry, you're not gonna be shaking your butt this time. That's not what we're gonna be doing. We're gonna be twerking with our feet, okay? So the twerk is nothing but the Charleston, basically with the Beat Your Feet twist. It has that bounce in it. So you got the Charleston, which is like this, yeah? So when we twerk, Same thing, except for we put our bounce in there. We got to bounce to it. That's our bounce. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah? So what we want to do is, we want to do a few twerks going forward. After we come out this kick, this right foot comes down and dip, 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 stop. Yeah? So again, you have step and a 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, to make sure that you're really solid in position, make sure that you use your arms. If this arm is out, you go forward, boom, come down. Yes? The left arm comes out first. Boom, 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 stop. Yeah? So, from the 3-point step kick into the twerk will look as so. 1, 2, 3, kick, 1, 2, 3, kick, 1, 2, 3, stop. Yeah? Okay, so one more time. 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, kick, 1, 2, 3, kick, 1, 2, 3, stop. Great. So we have the bounce, we have our 30-30 arms, we got the 3-point step kick, and then we have the twerk. So let's go from the top and see how we put it all together. Okay, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, stop. Yeah? All right. So I got one more move for you. One more move. After the twerks, we're going to go straight to the infamous this and that. And that's this and that. That's not this and that. It's this and that. So it's very simple in its own special way, but we like it. It's something that's very common to the community at large, and it's something that we see everybody doing. So when we do our twerk, we end it here. Well, actually, no. Kick, 1, 2, 3, 4. We end it here. We're going to do what we call a dip. Dips help us transition into our next beat your feet move. Boom. You know, it's always good to do 2. Boom. So we end it here. And we're gonna dip. 1, 2, okay? This is gonna help us straighten our bodies back up because we left off here in this position and we need to get straight in the line. So we're gonna dip for 2. Boom, boom. Once you get back here, you're gonna take your right foot. This is where the this and that comes in. Right foot and place it behind the left, and you're gonna transition your weight as so. So your feet should be turned in, the left foot should be turned in, and his right foot should be in the back, okay? And then we go back, step, step, and we'll beat your feet. Whatever you do to one side, you wanna do to the other, like mad. Right foot is solid, left foot comes back. Boom, here position, and stop, okay? Again, that's bop, 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 bop. That is the breakdown of the this and that. Again, tap, 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 tap. That's without the arms. Now, you know, everybody has their own flavor, and me personally, I like to put a little upper body action in, so it gives us your bounce. So that's how you get your bounce. So you wanna really boom, and, yeah? So if you're coming from the twerk and you're here, you're gonna dip. 1, 2, and tap, 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 tap. Yeah? Very simple, easy, straight to the point, beat your feet basic routine that we're putting together. So let's take it from the 3-point step kick and then add the this and that and close it out. So here we go. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, kick. 1, 2, 3, kick. 1, 2, 3, and dip, dip. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah? Give yourselves a round of applause. You're gonna take it right back to the top, add the bounce, the 30-30, the 3-point step kick, the twerk, and the this and that, just like that. Okay, here we go. 5, 6, 7, 8. Pop, 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 pop. Let go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Boom. And kick. Boom. And kick. Step. And boom, boom, and take it back. Boom, boom, boom. Yum. Now we're gonna put the thing to some music, get the crank. You feel me? Let go. Wiping the sweat off my face right now. Crazy energy, crazy insane energy coming straight from the heart. Your girl Queen P. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at Queen P the Brand. Queen P the Brand, everything spelled correctly. Make sure you hit up Beat Your Feet Academy. We got a lot of things going on right now. It's about to get super duper crazy. I don't know if y'all ready, but I am ready to take over. Beat your feet all day. Respect the crank. You day, Lego.
Respect to Crank 2020, how we feeling tonight? Yeah. Listen, I don't know about y'all, but usually around this time, I'd be on the beach with my family, swimming in the ocean, waking up to the sun. And even though we can't do that right now, I feel it in my soul, and I just want to share that with you. So repeat after me, okay? Say, I just want to wake up to the sun and say, Lord, I just want to wake up to the sun and say, Lord, I just want to wake up to the sun and say, Lord, I just want to wake up to the sun. Come on, I just want to wake